Oh, okay. I, that's all I can say. I have no words. I have no words. Actually, I have a lot of words. Nanny nanny boo boo. Uh, yeah, I'm being very, very immature right about now. Um, Sorry, not sorry. I mean, this is what accountability looks like. All kinds of things have gone through my head. But just in case you haven't been in social media today, allow me to share some political news with you today. Okay. So here we go.
The country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Down goes Donald Trump. Down goes Donald Trump. Guilty. All 34 counts. The most important stuff is the details, and will he actually go to prison? Anna.
Now, this obviously makes Trump the first ever former president of the United States who has been convicted of felonies. And while there weren't any cameras allowed in the courtroom as the verdict was read, we have Jake Tapper reading the results of the verdict one by one. Let's take a look.
Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. All 34 are felonies. Donald Trump has now been convicted of 34 different felony crimes by a jury of his peers in Manhattan.
Now, these are 34 counts having to do with falsifying business records to cover up the campaign finance violations of paying Stormy Daniels and others hush money payments or money to kill Karen McDougal's story in The Inquirer. Now, Donald Trump, of course, did not take the news so well. Let's go to this tweet that has a screenshot from Jordan Ewell. Trump has a frowned expression on his face as the verdict reading is completed. He is not moving. And he did issue a statement immediately after leaving the courtroom. Let's hear what he had to say.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a...
Now, he done said rigged like 2 to 3 times already. And he said conflicted. What was the judge conflicted about? Let's continue.
The venue changed. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. But the real verdict is going to be
rigged again, disgraceful again. He's just that upset. He can't get out of his mind. Rigged, disgraceful, disgraceful, rigged, rigged, disgraceful, conflicted. Judge, you mean you are conflicted because you can't believe that out of all of your obstacles and out of all of your following and everything else and all these sycophants that follows you, that you are finally being held accountable and you don't know what to do. That's the only confliction that's going on right now.
November 5th by the people, and they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being...
You're fighting for yourself because nobody did this but you. Nobody did this but Donald Trump. The country didn't grab women by their lower parts. The country did not pay off Stormy Daniels. The country didn't try to have a fixer to fix up an account and have your name be used as another name to just try to cover your crime. That ain't on the country. That's on Donald J. Trump. But do you hear how people hear these things and they twist the narrative right here? He's just been held accountable. He's just been found guilty of 34 34, not one, 34. See, verdict count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 34. Verdict count 34. Guilty. These are no longer accusations. This is no longer alleged and all these other things. See, every time we have watched this play out in front of us, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. I can say it now. Convict, felon, because that's what you are. Now, the big question is what our host on TYT was talking about, Cenk was talking about. Will this man actually serve time? I doubt it. But this is just step one. But I'm curious as to what more he has to say, though.
Rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt.
This is called the justice system, period. Because had it been someone that looked like me, it would be, oh, justice was served and he deserved it, and look at the way that he disrespected the judge and all this stuff, and we believe that this was, the book should have been thrown at him in the whole night. It's amazing how we turn our words around whenever someone like me is in his position. But when they look like him and they have money and they have power and they have position and they have influence, then it's a witch hunt, and they just trying to take our man out, and they afraid. In a sense, you are right. There is a sense of fear of that. We are afraid that there might be a thing of a person being untouchable might come to fruition right in front of our eyes. That's what, if anything, that's what we was afraid to see. But this time, it caught up to you. You can only get away with things for so long. Then there's a day of reckoning. And today is that day. Now, what surprised me was how fast the turnaround was. I thought that it was at least going to be a day or two. Matter of fact, no matter what platform you was looking at, that's what people was really expecting. They was expecting for this man to slide out of this thing some kind of way, either by, the jury feeling threatening, hung jury. They were throwing out all kinds of scenarios. But people are just flat out, the real America is just flat out tired of these people of power and influence and everything and privilege getting away with stuff. And like Cat Williams said, it's up for all of you. It's up for all of you. No matter who you are, it's time out. And Donald J. Trump, it's time out for you. And you will not see the presidency. You can whine and cry all you want to, but you will not see the presidency.
An opponent, a political opponent, and I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end, and we'll win, because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now, from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from day one, with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Obviously, Joe Biden, as someone who serves as president in the federal government, had nothing to do with this case that was brought forth by the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. But it doesn't matter. That message that you just heard from Trump resonated with Republican voters to the point where donations to his campaign skyrocketed immediately after the verdict, to the point where his Win Red campaign page is down. Last time I checked, it was down. It might be up at this point or by the time you watch this video. But again, that message seemed to resonate, calling this a political hit job. Donald Trump's legal team, by the way, even before the verdict was read, was already planning for what to do should Trump be found guilty. And of course, they're planning to appeal this case and make the same argument that you heard Trump make there, that he didn't have a fair shake, that this was a politically motivated trial, and that the judge was biased, that the jury was biased. So we'll see how that plays out. But I should also note that sentencing has already been scheduled for July 11th, which his attorney, Todd Blanche, had asked for. So July 11th at 10 a.m. will be Donald Trump's sentencing.
Pausing here to deliver some honest truth as we do.
Okay, again, and it's a shame that I have to, or I feel the need to reiterate this. This is all on Donald J. Trump. This is on you, sir. These are not crimes that has anything to do with this country. Nothing to do with the country at all. These are all your personal actions. This is not even your actions as being president. This was before you even decided to run officially. And that's where your 34 counts come from. And these people that's defending, they know this, but they have to represent their client. And they have to be the mouthpiece, so to speak, for their client. Honestly, I don't even know that I could have been a defense lawyer for Trump and with something like this. But, you know, to each his own. I mean, you have to be represented. And you have that right to be represented. But if I would have been on his team, you know, by default or whatever, I would have told, man, just stop. Stop while you are ahead. Stop. I mean, just stop. You know, I mean, this is ridiculous. The sad part about it, though, people, is that did you catch what happened with his supporters or his donors actually increased? For what? You're paying for his lawyers. You sending money to him is not going to a political campaign and stuff because he has this litigation and a lot more, at least 2 more coming up. So you're paying for, I want to say, according to the platform that I'm a panelist on, the host on that one was saying that it's like $90,000 a day. Shout out to my boy Brian for having that information. But that's what you're paying for. Guys, come on, man. We have got to get a grip, man. And to for the sycophants, man, like y'all really got to let this stuff go. Like, for real. I mean, I understand, you know, he's your demigod and everything else. And oh my god. I mean, the coonery is beyond belief to me and everything. When you got different I forget their names right now. Clarence Thomas, and then you got old boy in South Carolina, the senator out in South Carolina, bootlicking self and everything, and they, I mean, just straight cooning. You know, happy to be number 2 or trying to be number 2. And I'm just like, wow, this is what we've become. Okay. So, guys, tell me what y'all think about the verdict. Um, I want to hear your opinions. I do. Um, whether I agree with you or not, it's fine. Me, myself, I think that justice was served and it was served righteously because it was facts over feelings and threats and intimidation and everything. And um big shout out to the citizens of New York for coming through, for holding someone like Donald J. Trump accountable for his actions. It has nothing to do with the country at all, period. Not in the slightest. That's like me saying that the country is doomed because I was held accountable for the speeding ticket that I received, from the highway state trooper, and because I received the ticket, then this whole country is falling apart. Yeah, it makes that much sense. Stop falling for this, y'all. I mean, you know what? I don't know. I know I'm talking to the air because for the people that have already made up their mind that they are Trumpers, it ain't gonna make a difference. But I'm talking to these so-called undecided voters and stuff like I don't even know how you can be undecided. My friend was just talking, and my friend and I was just talking about, think about this. Some of us out here actually knows what it feels like to have a felon on your record. You can't even have certain jobs for being a felon. One count, let alone 34. But you telling me that our justice system is set up to where even though you can't hold down like a regular civilian job, you can run the country? Please make it make sense, somebody. Somebody, please make it make sense. I don't know everything, and I don't claim to know everything. So somebody help me out, please. With that being said, hope to hear from you guys. Let's see what you guys say.